I'm Bee.
I'm Bear.
Welcome to askbeeandbear. We're just two den mates in your local forest trying to answer your questions and give you advice.
So we're back in action, and the first
Yay.
section, yeah, right, finally. The beginning of the semester has been a mess, so
Yes.
we're back. And the first section we're going to do is going to help you learn a little bit about us. So what we're going to do is tell you one good thing and one bad thing that's been happening for us lately. You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So I've been applying to graduate schools,
Yes.
and I recently heard back from 2 out of the 4 I applied from, and
Uh-huh.
there was both acceptances.
What?
Yay! Woo!
Yay!
Yes. So I was very excited about one of them. One of them I didn't super care about, but one of them I was very happy to be accepted to.
Still.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
master's degree.
Yes.
Master's
So
degree
this
on
is
deck.
good.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Is it like kind of a weight off your shoulders?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, now, of course, I'm stressing about other things.
Of
Like
course.
replying back to them, which you have told me that I should stop worrying about.
Yeah.
But
You have enough time, don't you?
yeah, so my professor keeps telling me this, that it's a nationwide law that you have till April to give a college or a university a decision.
Jesus.
Yeah, like it's a federal law of some sort, so they can't pressure you into making a decision too quickly or making a decision before you hear back from all of your universities.
Right.
So technically I shouldn't be worried, but I am.
This was supposed to be your good thing.
Yeah, but it is a good thing because I am excited to be in. It's like, it is very comforting to know that, I have 2 options, and now I'm just worried about, like, oh, which one should I pick? It's more of
Yes.
that kind of thing, so.
And now we push them into a bidding war of who gives you like the nicer company
Yes.
car and how many more Rolex watches they can send to the house.
Oh my god, yeah, I need a new watch.
Yeah. Oh, listen, we know.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's good.
It is good. Yes. Okay. So how about you, Bear?
Okay. My good thing is that it is Black History Month.
Yay, it is.
It is. Today's
It
is still in February. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to editing this and putting it up, but it's like the tail end of Black History Month. And that's always a good thing. And it is just, it's important always, but especially like when we live in a dystopian fascist dictatorship, it is important to celebrate Blackness and Black history and Black accomplishment and, how Black folks have managed to survive in this country for so long and thrive and literally create this awful nation from the ground up. So that's my good thing. I went last weekend to see James Baldwin's I Am Not Your Negro, which, like, if you haven't seen it, please do see it. It was... Oof. It was like I don't want to say like, oh my god, it was so great, because it was, a lot of horrific imagery of like death and struggle and strife, but it was very well done. And James Baldwin, of course, is a genius, and super brilliant. So hearing his words was really great, and the film was it was really well done.
Was this a documentary or more?
Yeah, it like wasn't a documentary in the sense of like Planet Earth style like narration, but it was like a true story. It's essentially like, I think it was like James Baldwin was gonna write a story, or he's an author, James Baldwin, and he was gonna write a book about like civil rights, the struggle for civil rights, which he lived through. And he was going to write about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and oh my god, who else? Yikes.
Nelson Mandela.
In this country, you fool. No, who else? Oh my goodness. Writing about Medgar Evers. Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Yes. So writing about MLK, Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers. But he like only got around to writing like 30 pages of notes. And like never actually, like it wasn't like a complete,
not like a manuscript or rough draft.
It was like it wasn't just like bullet points, I don't think, or at least the way it was presented in this was not just like bullet point notes, but it was not the complete work that he wanted to present. But like they found all this, and made it into I Am Not Your Negro, which was really great, and it was like his words narrated by I think Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, which was
Okay.
interesting, but like also I didn't realize it was him until the end. So like it was
Mhm.
obviously not him in his traditional like action hero
Yes.
voice. So that was good, but I think it was him narrating and then interspersed with like real video clips of James Baldwin speaking and like, MLK speaking and some historical information presented that way and through like talk shows and lectures that he gave and stuff. Um, I don't know. It was
Good
really. It was
stuff.
just. It was. Oof, it was a lot. It was very powerful, and something that everybody should see. I feel like it's like one of those things that everybody should see.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see it.
Hopefully.
Through some classes maybe.
Hmm.
We'll air them.
Hopefully. I really hope so. I didn't realize that it just came out. It came out February 3rd, 2017. So it's like very, very new. I think it's one of those like only playing in select theaters. But if you have
Mhm.
any kind of opportunity, definitely take it to go see.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Sounds
that's my good
powerful.
thing.
Yeah.
It was. What's your bad thing?
Um, Bad things. So I'm only in two classes, which is another good thing for this
Okay.
semester. But those two classes have group projects, and so I'm in four group projects for my two classes. So that's my bad thing.
Yeah. Four for
Uh,
two classes is a lot.
yeah, it's just a lot of picking up slack from other people.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, but they're all good people, I guess, that I'm working with. So if I bug them enough about it, they'll do things. But we're all seniors, so we're all trying to kind of relax a little bit. Me as
Right.
well. I'm like not immune to that feeling to
Of course.
senioritis, but yeah.
That's exhausting. And it sucks because it's like so the state of American education where we just cram so many people into these classes that there's no way that everyone can have time for an individual project or like a
Yes.
professor doesn't have time for individual projects. So they group everybody together and it's just a struggle because inevitably people like you pick up the slack for everybody else.
Yeah. But I'm dealing with it.
Are
And
you?
yeah, because these classes also don't have tests. They're just this project, which like might sound bad that I only have that one grade, but projects are generally if you finish them and you're not, presenting crap,
Right.
then you're probably going to get some kind of A on
That's
it.
actually true. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you really could get a zero on an exam, but it's very hard to turn something in and get a zero on it if it's a project.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can't complain too much, but of course I will.
Of course.
But that's my bad thing. It's
Okay.
definitely not awful
Yeah. Well, it's fair
as
though.
far as bad things go.
Right. Yeah, my bad thing is also not bad as far as bad things go.
That's good.
Um, I have like really over the past week maybe just like really like the overwhelming desire for having a pet has just
Oh,
been
yes.
like destroying me.
Oh my god.
I just like I can't. I've had a pet most of my life, and like not having one is really just been like detrimental. And it's not even in the sense of like, oh, I want something to care for or whatever. It's just like,
Never.
because I don't, right, exactly, because I never want a child, and I certainly don't want to like just pick up any kind of creature's poop out of anywhere. But I just like want something that like provides comfort and love and care, and I just can't. We don't really have that option in our
Yeah.
den. Um,
Yeah. You're
Although
right.
somebody has a border collie, but we're
Oh
not
my
gonna name names.
god.
You hear that yapping dog at all
Yes,
hours of the
right
day
through
and
my
night.
wall.
Right. Well, because they have a freaking border collie in like a 12-foot by 12-foot space. Like, why are you putting this dog in a closet? But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
not.
We're also kind of on a second floor, so we always feel bad. Like, I don't know, when dogs have to walk up and down all those stairs.
Right. And also,
Like,
we're surrounded on all sides by parking lot. Where is this dog pooping? Or
yeah.
peeing? Or anything? Like, and
Just
we're
they're
also
walking
near
in.
like
I don't know.
restaurants, like food serving establishments. So I don't want to think that like the dog is like, doing its business right next to like the restaurant. I don't know. Like,
Well, a lot of people pick up the dog's poop. Well, like, garbage bag style or plastic bag.
yeah, but I don't want to think
And
about it doing it on asphalt. Like, that's gross. I don't know.
on some green grass for that.
Yeah, please. The whole thing just feels problematic, and so I won't get a dog and put it in our tiny apartment.
Okay.
But I I've been watching these videos of this like giant lizard that these people have somewhere in like California. And I'm just like obsessed with this humongous lizard and I want one. And it's like a giant Argentine tegu. Let me pull it up for you.
Ooh.
Um, red
Is it playful?
Argentine tegu.
Like, do they play with this guy?
Yeah. It's a big baby. Look
Oh
at
my
his face.
god.
Look how smushy. Look, this is it. This is the one.
Oh.
It's this woman who has this big like hamburger dog of a lizard.
It's hamburger colored too.
It is. It's very
Yeah.
ground beefy. But like, look how cute. Look at
Whoa,
this.
it's got like jowls.
It's jowly. I'm not sure what that's about, but I just like am obsessed with this giant lizard pet, and I really want one. And they just
Huh.
kind of like chill out and eat, and like they just bask in the sunlight. But they'll also like they're kind of snuggly, or this one is at least.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
and I don't know. I just like
What do they eat?
I think they're omnivorous. I think it's
Oh, nice.
like a frozen mouse situation, but also like carrot sticks and like apples and stuff.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Frozen meat and vegetables.
Yeah. They said that they feed it ground turkey, which is maybe why it looks like ground turkey. Yeah, look.
Oh my god, it's eating raw ground beef.
Yeah, well I mean
Oh my
lizards
God.
don't cook. It's gotta eat raw meat. Look at his face. Look
Oh
at
my
this face. It's
God.
precious.
Doesn't have teeth.
That's what I like. That's why I
Whoa.
don't want a snake. Had a snake phase for a little while where I wanted a snake. I wanted like a huge like boa constrictor, and then they just are snappy, and like the idea of getting a snake bite like is very just turns me off to
Okay.
the whole idea. But this thing, I think it has like strong jaws, but it doesn't really have teeth. You know, so it would just kind of walk around, climb on my furniture, and then give me hugs.
Oh my god.
And that's all I want these days. So I guess my bad thing is just that I've been like sad that I don't have a pet. Um,
That is
my other
sad.
dream, if I don't get to have a giant red Argentine tegu, is that I want to adopt a bunch of really old dogs,
Mhm.
like end of life, like 12-year-old dogs, and just hang out.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
they
you
also
know.
just bask and eat
Yeah,
and just
right.
want cuddles.
Yes, I just want a very like low maintenance, snuggly animal.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Okay.
know, I also want a donkey.
They are temperamental, aren't they?
Are they?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess like the stubborn mule stereotype.
Yeah. Well, mules are different.
Are they?
No, just that like species wise.
Is a mule and a donkey not the same thing?
No, I'm pretty sure a mule is a donkey plus a horse, and they're sterile.
Oh, I see. I also was the person that thought that a pony was a small horse, and I still kind of believe that. I think ponies are
Yeah.
mostly a conspiracy. I don't know. I just like no one's been able to
Oh my
provide
God.
me the level of evidence that I require.
so
Like
funny.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Is all I know.
Pony might just be a classification for small horse.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a species. Like a mule is definitely a separate species.
Oh, well, okay. So clearly I need to do more research. I'm really only saying this because I saw a video of a donkey in a hammock and I was like,
Oh.
I want this creature.
Okay.
I also saw a video of a bat eating watermelon and I was like, I could do a bat.
I like bats a lot.
Right?
Yeah, they carry a lot of diseases, but they're pretty cute and furry, and I like
Yikes.
bees, like kind of like mammalian bees, and that they're very very useful and they like fruit and they fly
Yes.
around despite the fact they look like they can't,
Right.
and they're fuzzy.
They're fuzzy, and like all the videos that I see of bats, they're all like wrapped up and swaddled in these
Yeah.
blankets, and they're like being
Uh.
fed fruits. But then they like unfurl these grotesque, like disgusting leathery wings, and I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just get a dog. Like Jesus Christ,
Oh no.
they're so like otherworldly. I don't like it.
But they got those cute, almost dog-like faces.
Yes,
those
they
big
do.
Eyes.
And then you zoom out to their like bony, disgusting hands.
No,
Like,
so rude.
I know. Listen,
They can fly.
yeah,
That's
I
an
guess.
amazing attribute.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
true.
if I was a little bit smaller and had wings, I could fly.
Yes, well, as a bee, I'm sure that you feel that way. But for us bears, the ground
Yeah.
is good enough. Or swimming. I do love swimming.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want like a giant aquarium filled with something or other. I don't
Not
know.
water.
No, I mean the creatures in the water. Thank you very much. I don't know. I'm just like in a pet mood. So I will like go on
Yes.
Pet Finder and like
Oh.
just click on pictures of I don't know, like abandoned box turtles and be like one day. But whatever. I'm just sad.
Reptiles and amphibians have salmonella.
Thank you. Well, hopefully I will be able to wash my giant red Argentine
Yeah.
tegu so it
Just
doesn't.
as long as you don't, lick it.
Okay, thank you for the great advice. I will have to somehow refrain from licking my pet lizard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
God.
so that's how we're feeling and that's how we're doing.
Yes.
So let's move on to the segment that the podcast is named after, which is Ask Bee and Bear. We have two ways for you to ask us questions.
One way is you can email them to us at askbeeandbear@gmail.com.
Or you can send them to us anonymously through Tumblr at askbeeandbear.tumblr.com. So it is my turn to ask the questions this time.
Yes.
Don't look. It's a secret.
I didn't look.
Okay, good. And we have some good ones. We have a ton of questions in here. So thank you all for sending them in. Like
Thank
we really
you,
appreciate
listeners.
it. Yeah, for real. So I guess I'll start off with the one that's at the top. Because I think it's interesting. And I'm not quite sure what this person meant by it, but we'll work through it.
Okay, perfect.
So the question just says, what are your top tips for overcoming self-deception?
Self-deception, as in deceiving yourself, I guess, at the most literal
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to, like, in what way do you understand self-deception? Like, let's start with that.
Okay, well, if I want something to go a certain way, I will lie to myself to get it to fit into that situation. For example, if I'm thinking Bear is mad at me, I will just lie to myself and be like, oh no, maybe he's tired, or maybe he's stressed, or things like that. If you're trying to, emotionally connect or work with something, then it's easy to lie to yourself about what someone else is feeling or what you yourself are feeling.
Okay. So I Googled it, and Google says self-deception, noun, the action or practice of allowing oneself to believe that a false or unvalidated feeling, idea, or situation is true. So, like, I guess sort of like thinking irrationally about things. Like,
Okay.
self-deception involves convincing oneself of a truth or lack of truth so that one does not reveal any self-knowledge of the deception. Huh. So
Okay.
interesting. So how do you so tell me more. How do you feel?
So I thought about internalized racism when I first heard that definition
Oh.
of either putting yourself down or putting yourself in a higher position, I guess based on where you fall on that race spectrum.
Right.
And then mostly following society's norms, not necessarily what you think, but of what you're told to think, I guess, and then just through repetition of what outsiders are telling you or what outside sources are telling you, like confirming a new belief, not necessarily what you originally thought. Maybe.
Okay. I think I thought of like I sometimes do this where something will really upset me and I'll like gaslight myself into thinking like, oh, this is not such a big deal. Or like I have never in 21 years been able to keep a grudge really. Like I'm just not good at keeping grudges against people. I'm really good at like sort of downplaying the effect that like other people's like trauma has upon me. And so I'll just kind of like be upset about something and then kind of get over it. And so I guess maybe that sort of self-deception of like, no, wait, if I actually think about it, what this person did was really shitty and impacted me really negatively, and I shouldn't just be like, free pass, you're fine, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely a defense mechanism, though, and possibly a healthy one at certain points. Like, just being able to let things go,
Right.
especially if that person is not going to be a part of your life anymore, or in our situation, at least, at a college, we're going to be leaving a lot of people behind.
Right.
But
So I guess
yeah.
that's okay. But in the senses in which it's not okay, which I guess like yeah, internalized racism, like telling yourself that, you know, it's not quite as bad as everybody else is saying, or like not allowing yourself to see the full truth of a situation. Um how do so the question is like how do we
How
get
do you
over that?
stop?
Yeah, overcoming. The first thing that came to my head was writing stuff down. Like I find that
Keeping records.
keeping records of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's like the number one way to not like gaslight yourself or be able to lie to yourself about, you know, was this actually as bad as it seems? And oftentimes the answer is yes,
Yes.
but we like, you know, sleep on it for a couple days and then are able to convince ourselves otherwise. So I guess like writing things out, not and like you could write it to a friend, you could like just write it down in a journal. But I think if you're like trying to engage in a process of accountability and you're not able to really be accountable to yourself, like writing a letter to a friend could be a really good
Yeah.
thing. You know, like having a trusted person to be like, listen, I'm going through some stuff. Like, would it be cool if I just like, you know, wrote some letters and stuff to you? I had a friend in high school who actually we kind of did a similar thing where we weren't necessarily it like we started off just writing letters to each other and then it kind of revealed itself that like either one of us was going through some real self-deception of
Mm.
like no things are okay. I guess it's like you ever seen that meme of like the dog in the house where it's on
It's on
fire
fire.
and it's like ah this is okay.
Yes.
Is that self-deception? Like yeah, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So like we
Yeah.
revealed that like the house was actually on fire through the course of writing each other letters, and then we're able to hold each other accountable for being like, no, actually this is not okay, and like how are we going to make these changes? And so like having an accountability buddy can actually be really healthy. I have an so that was in high school, but this now I have an actual accountability buddy who I'm not sure listens to the show, but if you do, hey, what's up?
Nice.
And we will like have a Skype call once a month to talk about um the thing that we're holding each other accountable on and like progress that we've made and sort of like speaking things into existence and then like having somebody who's going to check in with you at the beginning of next month and be like, you know, did you go out and do this? Did you talk to that person? Did this happen? And then be like, no. And like being okay with being like, no, actually, like I didn't get around to that. But like, here's my new plan. And then having somebody hold you accountable can be helpful, you know?
It's definitely a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to keep journals at numerous points in my life.
Right.
For like insignificant things like vacations to,
Yeah.
starting something like college. And somehow I never followed through with them.
I've never followed through on a journal.
Yeah. I've been very good about keeping notes on scientific stuff that I'm doing.
Great.
But yeah, feelings are hard to put into words if you're just communicating them with yourself. So I think talking to a friend is a really good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's hard to, especially when I mean, if the whole issue is that you're not able to like be honest with yourself or you're like rationalizing things away or straight up denying the truth,
Yeah.
like then you kind of have to involve somebody else at that point. You know, if the issue is with
Yes.
you, then it's important to like kind of call upon your community to be like, somebody, let's talk about this. Like, so, somebody hold me accountable. You know.
Yes. And also, if you're not comfortable talking about this with a friend, therapy is a very, very solid option.
Hello.
And we do, a lot of places have free counseling sessions the first few times you go, or a trial run of some sort. So definitely check into that option if you need someone to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Therapists are like professional accountability buddies, which is really important to have like somebody who maybe doesn't know your situation or just is sort of like the neutral tone in the situation, to be able to have the outside view and give you some real clarity on it. So that's actually really, I don't know why that we didn't think about that first. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Also, you can go to different therapists. Like the first one you find is no good, that's fine.
Yeah.
There are lots of therapists.
Yes. The world is full of therapists. Some great, some not so great.
Yeah.
I've had both. And when you find a really good therapist, oh, it's like the world has like revolved around in a new direction. Like it's great. It's just it feels so good to like click with somebody and be able to like really be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Understanding yourself is a really good feeling.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Especially like when you didn't realize how bad the situation is.
Yeah.
And then you start making progress on it and you're like, oh my god. Like
Yeah.
life is actually maybe tolerable.
Yeah. Let's talk about a weight off your shoulders.
Seriously. Oh, what a good
Yes.
feeling.
Loss of existential dread.
Oh, If only, right? Like, maybe one day. That's maybe a different episode.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
those are
Yeah.
good. I think that kind of answers it. And if we like completely miss the meaning of what you were trying to say, and if Wikipedia and Google have strayed us in a completely wrong direction, please write back and let us know.
Yes, we'd love to talk about this more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So I have a really cute. Sorry.
What?
I'm just like giggling to myself at how great our inbox is.
Aw.
The next question that we
Thanks,
have
listeners.
is, how did you two become friends?
Ah!
This is why I was giggling.
So
How
cute.
cute!
Oh my god.
Because like
Wow.
this is a question we have asked ourselves many times.
Oh my god, so many times.
Like,
we discussed this.
Yeah, we discuss this regularly, at least
Yes.
every semester, to be like, let's check
Yeah.
in. What do we actually have in common? Why are we
Yeah.
friends?
Yeah, bees and bears. Like,
What? How did that
like,
happen?
I mean, honey, but also
True.
what?
Exactly. And honey in this case is racism. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, the glue that.
The glue that binds us.
Oh.
Yikes. Okay, no, but like, how did we become friends?
Well, we first met a little bit before we entered college,
Yes.
in just kind of a stressful situation.
Right.
Yeah, and then we stress bonded, which is kind of a really good way to bond.
Probably
I would
the best
say.
way,
Okay, you were making a
honestly.
face. I wasn't sure if you were.
Oh
agreeing
no,
or
it was my like
disagreeing.
hell yeah face. Like,
Okay, yeah. So stress bonding, and then we met again through completely random circumstance.
yep, and you forgot my name.
Yeah, but I forget many people's names. Bear is still a little bit holding a grudge, and I understand. But
I'm not holding a grudge. I just
Not
find
holding-
it so
yeah.
funny that I came in with literally like a portfolio of details on you, and you like I'm sorry, who the fuck are you?
No, I remembered you. I definitely remembered your face and
Okay.
some like choice things you said because you just had such a strong personality, and I was like, what?
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, the thing that B is referring to is that I called the governor of our state a very mean name,
Yeah.
and B
I
was
just
startled.
like, what?
I know.
How could you say your opinions to people you don't really know? I was just like, blown
Yeah,
away.
well, because
Yeah.
I was 17 and young and stupid and irrational and just ready to say anything. Although
No,
I
it was
do
good.
hold that opinion is true.
Yeah, no.
And that he is indeed all the things
Yeah.
that I said he was.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
yeah, we did. We stress bonded, and then I like I was just like determined to be your friend.
Yeah, that was super good. Cause
Yeah. You did not feel the same way, and I think
No.
that's okay.
during stressful times, I curl up into a ball and do not want to or try to interact with anyone or anything.
Uh
So Bear was super good and super patient with me.
huh.
And we are both blessed because of it, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just like saw B and was like, "This is it. This person is friend shaped. We're gonna make this
Aw,
work."
That's
And
so
then B
good.
would just be like, not really meeting me halfway. And I was like, "Fine, I'll go 75%. I'm willing to do this. I'll put in the energy."
Oh my god.
And it's been like that ever since.
Yeah, no. 4 years later. It's definitely the same.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I've come to terms with that, and I think it's fine. But that is how we met. So we did stress bond, and we met through school.
Mhm.
But what has like kept us together besides me?
Besides our honey racism.
Besides honey and racism.
Oh man. Well, we tried to stay in proximity with each other, like
Yes, we have
Geographically?
lived together.
Okay.
For a while.
yes. So that was really good. We do not share classes or majors.
Nope. We don't share colleges.
We don't share clubs.
Even. No.
Yeah. It's an
We don't
interest.
share
It's
anime?
a friendship.
It
Yeah.
is.
We don't
It's
share
interesting.
TV shows.
No.
We don't share music. Well,
No.
like I'm trying to.
Well,
Sorta.
we're going to a concert together.
Yeah.
So that we share that. We're in the same Vogue house.
Yes. We
So
are
there's
starting
that.
a new one.
Yeah. All three of us.
Yeah. Capybara.
Yeah. A bee, a bear, and a capybara having a Vogue house. But that's a question for a different
That's so
day,
cute.
isn't it? But I don't know. What holds us together is like, I think now a passion for social justice. Not back
Oh
then
no,
though.
no, no, no.
Yeah, back
Yeah,
then we
I'll
were both
readily admit I was not there at all
no. Yeah.
as a freshman or a sophomore. Like getting there kind of as a sophomore.
Yeah. As a sophomore year was our year of protest. We just like went to a
Yes.
ton of like political actions our sophomore year, and so that kind of like that's like an experience
Yeah.
that'll bind somebody together for real.
Definitely making posters, hearing other people's struggles, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's held us together. Um, I don't know. I think just like we like somehow make good friends. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not like your stuff is not my stuff. My stuff is not your stuff. But I'm like always interested to hear about your stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like never willing to jump into the lab and be like, okay, like,
Ugh.
let me learn everything I want to know about salmonella. But like if you want to talk to me about salmonella, I'm always all ears. And so that's kind of like what, and I always tell you about gay people. And
I'm
what
always open to it.
you're always down.
And I mostly remember what you say.
Kind of, yeah. So that I don't know. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the recipe.
Just click. Just click.
We just clicked, yeah. So that's nice.
It was
And
good.
4 years later, here we are,
Yes.
famous
Still
with a radio
friends.
show. So that's that question. Ha ha ha. Oh, I have a problematic one that's gonna make you upset. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. This question is, what is your go-to Chipotle order?
Oh. What? I thought that was going in a different direction.
I
But this
know.
is like a bad direction.
It
It's
is
not
a bad direction.
It's just like,
But
whatever.
to anyone else, I'm sure the listeners at home are like, literally, what's the problem? Just tell us whether you want black or pinto beans. Like, what's the issue? But like, start us off with why you had that giant groaning reaction.
Okay. So last year, I mean, most people probably heard about this, but Chipotle had huge outbreaks last year at multiple chains at multiple states, and it wasn't just one outbreak. It was 5 outbreaks. There were 5 different types of bacteria that got into Chipotle foods in multiple states across the country.
Ugh.
It wasn't just like the East or West Coast. It was all across the country. And part of it was because, you know, they always try to keep their ingredients fresh, and, you know, they have the food just kind of out there sitting all the
Right.
time, and if you're, especially in a college town, if you're just hiring quick employees, the training's not going to be that great. But like, another reason was because they put their money into these non-GMO ingredients, these quote-unquote fresh, natural,
Healthy.
I don't
Good
know,
for
healthy. I don't know. They're just putting these kind of nonsensical labels on them that don't necessarily mean anything. Like healthy food. I mean, it's not a chip, but like vegetable good. I don't.
you. Yeah. I mean, Chipotle has like 1,500 milligrams of sodium in like a burrito bowl.
Yeah,
So like, how healthy really are we talking?
there's so much sodium, and you know, you put avocado in it, or like a tomato that's been sitting out there in water that's probably has all of its flavor leached out and then put back in with the sauce or whatever you're putting on it. Like, okay, but this anti-GMO stuff was mostly just buying into a fear consumers have of science in their food. And I'm just not about that as someone who wants to put as much science in food as possible, which is also not the answer to anything.
It's okay.
But the fact that they went so in the other direction of something that I'm studying and want to work in the future really rubs me the wrong way. And the fact that they had 5 outbreaks, which is directly in line with what I want to avoid, because they're putting money into this anti-GMO advertising and anti-GMO ingredients, which are generally more expensive than ingredients that use GMOs.
Right.
So their values are in the wrong place for me.
That's fair. That is fair. So our household is strictly a no Chipotle zone. The only time I eat Chipotle is when I know you're not coming home for a couple hours, so that I can
Nice.
hide the bag and toss it out in
Oh
the
my
dumpster,
God.
so you don't know. So I guess you can provide us with your like Qdoba order or like
Yeah.
other
We have so many other Mexican
chained
places.
Mexican. Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I won't judge anyone else for eating there. I mean, I know it's like kind of pedantic at this point because they haven't had any other outbreaks. I guess they really haven't been going really, really strong. I think they're just trying to lay low at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
But they haven't done any more anti-GMO campaigning. But still, like, until you rescind that, I'm not eating there.
Until they like commit to using GMOs, you're
Yeah,
still
or
doing
they-
a boycott.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah. It's not a big loss to me.
No, I mean, stick to your values. Yeah, exactly. There's so many other, like, chain places to replace it with that
Exactly.
you're not really missing out.
Thanks, capitalism.
Thank you, capitalism. Yeah, I'm, like, Chipotle also is not ever at the top of my list for, like, chain Tex-Mex
Oh, yeah?
places. No. They have so few options, you know? Like,
Okay.
you're
I guess I
really kind of
forget
tied
mostly.
down to the same thing. They don't have queso, which, like, if I can't stick my face in a vat of melted cheese, what the hell is even the point? So that's frustrating. But I don't know. I just, yeah, Chipotle is never my favorite. But we can talk about our, like, ideal orders from
Yeah.
chain Tex-Mex
I
restaurants.
have other places that I still like love chain Tex-Mex food.
Oh yeah,
So
of course.
I'll find other places.
There you go. So what's your order like?
Okay, so I always get chicken because I don't know. I got beef once and it was chewy. I wasn't into that. So now I just get chicken basically. And then brown rice because it makes me feel slightly healthier.
Yes, come on, whole grains.
Black beans because I just like black beans. I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never actually tried the pinto beans, so I should eventually try those.
I'm a black bean over pinto beans too.
Have you tried the pinto beans though?
No.
Okay. I have to try that eventually, I feel like.
I know. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but black beans. Oh, anything that spicy will go in there, I will put in there. So if they have spicier pico, I'll put that in there. If they have a spicy sauce, I'll put it in there. If they have jalapenos, they're definitely 150% going in there. I love cilantro too.
You do love cilantro.
A few, maybe last semester, I was like really, really into cilantro.
Yes.
And I've calmed down a little bit since then.
True.
But I'll always get cilantro in it. Onions are always good.
Yes.
Sour cream guac, always good if I can swing the guac.
Yeah. Yeah, we can afford the luxury of like a half scoop of guacamole.
I know. Yeah, Chipotle is also skimpy on the guacamole.
Yeah.
Other places are much better about it.
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah.
know. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess that's the basics of my order. That would be consistent, like any Tex-Mex place you go
Are you a
to.
burrito person or a burrito bowl person or a salad person? Or tacos? Which, like, who is a taco person?
I used to get tacos because they just mixed better and like a better ratio than a burrito would because they're smaller.
Yes.
But burrito, I'll like toggle between burritos and burrito bowls. I don't really have, because some people don't like the mess of burritos,
Yeah.
but I like don't mind that.
Yeah, no. I've always been a burrito person for like as long as I live, and then I just discovered the magic of burrito bowls like last year, and it very recently.
Wow.
Like age 20, I just discovered what a burrito bowl was, and I tried it and I was like, God damn, this is innovation right here.
They're nice.
They're nice, you know? And you cut out the carbs, I guess, from a tortilla, which, like, am I really worried? No. But, burrito bowls have been, like, speaking to me lately.
Yeah.
So I've been doing those.
What meat do you get?
So when I am at actual Chipotle, they just started offering chorizo, like, crumble sausage stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've never gotten a bowl of just that because I don't think that would be good. But I've started getting. I always used to be a steak burrito person.
Okay.
Every time I went to Chipotle, I got a steak burrito, steak burrito, steak burrito. And then I tried the chicken, and I was like, okay, this is not bad. And now I do half chicken, half chorizo.
Okay.
And that's actually been really, really good. So I'll do a half chicken, half chorizo burrito bowl with. I do brown rice too. I do black beans too. And then I do pico de gallo, the hot salsa, a little bit of sour cream. I never used to be a sour cream person. The concept of it freaks me out. I cannot think about it too much, but I'll get a little bit just to sort of like mix together with the hot salsa, and I think that it creates like a nice combination.
Yeah.
And then I'll get the corn salsa, lettuce, and cheese because I am too broke for guacamole. Actually, no. I'll get chips and guac on the side sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's a waste of guacamole if it's just mixed in with everything else. But if I have it in like a cup on the side with chips, then I can like rationalize it to myself.
That's interesting. Okay. When I did eat at Chipotle, I did like their chips. They were very salty.
Yeah.
And they're kind of limey, maybe.
Yeah, they do. They put some kind of like lime salt on it.
Yeah. So I was into that.
although last time I was at Chipotle, there was like no salt on the chips at
Ugh,
all, which is
I
like
can't deal with that.
right. Like what? Why am I here? What are we doing here? I
No,
don't
I
understand.
need chips to be salty. That's why
Yeah.
they're my favorite.
Yes, you do. You love salt.
Yeah,
We both do.
salt is so good.
Salt is great.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what you're getting when you get Chipotle.
Yes.
But if I'm at any other place besides Chipotle, I'm putting queso on it because that's an option. And like, hello, why is it not?
Oh, I've
You
never
know?
put queso
Oh, I
on
slather it
burritos.
with queso.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah. If I bite into
Okay.
something and it just has like molten cheese sauce coming out, like, huh. Listen,
Wow.
I am just taken care of for the day.
That's how I feel about egg yolks.
Oh! I, I, I can't do it. I can't do it. And like
Oh my god.
I know everybody gets like a fried egg or sunny side up egg, and you know they want the yolk a little runny and they don't want it burst. Like I spent my whole life eating scrambled eggs, like never had a fried egg. Um, and then I have a fried egg and I get it like over medium because I don't want a runny yolk.
No, that's okay. I know a lot of people who don't like runny yolks.
How is that food safe? Like, explain to me how that's like people are able to eat that.
It's just such a small volume of liquid, like an egg yolk, especially if it's over a pan for
Yeah.
3 minutes, and it's just it get the middle of the liquid gets to a high enough temperature that it's not solidifying. Or before it solidifies, but it still gets to the right temperature
Oh,
to
okay.
kill bacteria.
Ugh, I don't know. If I'm gonna take my chances with like somewhat raw eggs, I'm gonna go cookie dough all the way.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be where I'm gonna
Okay.
stake my bets. Like I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Runny egg yolk like disgusts me.
I mean, most eggs are pasteurized now, so like juice is pasteurized.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like milk is pasteurized. Yeah, so a lot of the salmonella is caught at that point
That's
as
good.
well. So it's the raw stuff that gets you.
Yeah. Ugh. Gross. Definitely not into that.
Okay, but yeah, that's Chipotle. My
That's
take on
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah. Thank you for the science behind it, and also for the black beans versus pinto beans debate. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So. Okay. So here's another question. So this one says, I feel like no one knows I'm queer, but at the same time, it feels obnoxious to come out to everyone I know when it's not relevant. At the same time, though, I hate how people erase my identity because they don't know about it. What's your advice for dealing with this? XOXO. So this is a good question, and I think you can contribute to this even though you do not identify as queer.
Yes.
far
This
as
is
I know.
mostly for you, but
This is mostly for me, but
I will say some supportive yes and definitelys.
perfect. But you can also contribute in the sense of like other identities that you have that are like not super
Okay, yeah.
obvious. You know, like it's a kind of a transferable question. So I feel this. I think that people probably, especially the people in my like immediate circles, know obviously that I'm queer, and like anyone who listens to this podcast hears my gay ass voice and is like, yep, gotcha.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for your number one ally. Anyway, but I feel this though. Like I feel parts of an identity being overlooked or overshadowed, or people just not realizing it, or like making like sweeping generalizations about people who are in the room without realizing like, hey, hello, I'm here too. Don't erase me. So I feel this, and I think like the feeling that it's obnoxious to come out to everybody when it's not relevant is like based a lot in like really like like just like heterosexist ideas that are in our culture, because like straight cisgender people are always able to be out and are always able to like mention their partners or mention like, oh, like look at that girl, she's so hot, or like whatever else that like I don't know, whatever straight people are into. But like they're able to be out and open with their identity all the time, and it's always relevant because that's how our society privileges people who are heterosexual and cisgender. So like the feeling that your identity is somehow less relevant to the conversation than I'm guessing the like the people that you're around who I would guess would be cisgender and heterosexual, like that is just not fair to you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fine to like remind folks or to, come out if it's like a situation in which you feel comfortable or enter it into a conversation and not even in like a subtle way, just being like, as a bisexual, I feel such and such, or like, however you identify, whatever. Like, just do it. Like, who cares? People might look at you funny. People might be like, oh, you're always talking about like being gay, whatever. Like, just whatever. Like, just be you and be proud of who you are. And especially if you're having an issue where people are making you feel invisible, like, just go like all for it and just be loud and proud because the people who are going to have an issue with it are not, I don't think, the people you want to hang out with anyway.
Mm-hmm.
um but if we're talking about being your having your queer identity erased in circles of other queer people, like this can be a real issue for our folks who are bisexual or pansexual, and like a lot of bi erasure takes place when like a bisexual woman is with a man, or like we have somebody who, or like people who identify as non-binary or like use they them pronouns but like present in a way that's like stereotypically associated with their like sex assigned at birth. So if you have like somebody who was assigned male and like dresses in a very masculine way but you like identifies as non-binary and uses they them pronouns, and like people just come up and be like, hey man, hey bro, hey guy, and they're like, I don't identify like that. That can be really frustrating. And that's a situation where it's like totally call that person out, or like have somebody who's going to do that work for you, because that labor can be really hard to take on your own, constantly reminding people to like, hey, respect me, maybe. So if you have like a friend who is willing to take that on and be like, actually they use they them pronouns, like please respect this, and take that on for you, that's like a really cool thing to have. But if people know that you identify as queer and are still erasing that identity in you, like that's just unacceptable at that point. I guess if people don't know and they're making these assumptions, it's like hard. You can definitely still place blame on them depending on the situation. But if you've like made it clear, like, I'm here, I'm queer, and they're still like treating you in a way that would indicate that they are erasing this identity, then it's like that's just unacceptable. And you can give people the benefit of the doubt and remind them, but it's kind of only so many times that you can do that while still maintaining any semblance of like keeping yourself together, because it's a really frustrating experience for people to like not see you the way that you see yourself, and I feel this for sure. So I don't know, yeah, like definitely put in as much effort as you are like comfortable doing to remind people of your identities and who you are. But if it gets to a point where people are just not willing to respect that or like commit that to memory, then it might be time to find a different circle to run in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this definitely links back to the first question that was talking about self denial or self I don't think it was delusions.
Self-deception. There
Self-deception.
we go.
Yeah, and this would definitely be an example where you should say like, this is definitely my identity. This is what I'm going to stand firm and be proud and not be erased by this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now more than ever, we live in such a horrible society, which we always have. Like, make no mistake that this was like, a recent development. It's always been a miserable place for many of us marginalized folks. And so like now more than ever, it's time to just be like, the world is like so divided, and it's so clear like who is with us and who's against us these days, it seems, especially if you go along party lines and voting lines. It's like very obvious who's with us and who's against us. And so it's like the time to just sort of like put your foot down and demand better and be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are not my people, I'm moving on. Like you're in no way obligated to continue friendships that you've had for any amount of time, or acquaintances or anything like that, if they're gonna just disrespect you. Like don't put up with that. Really don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. So affirming. See how affirmed I feel,
Yes.
people. This is why we're friends. The constant trite affirmations. But
I
anyway.
try really hard.
Do you?
Yes.
Good. So that's what I have to say about that question, and hopefully that gets to the root of it. But those are some good stuff. Definitely keep sending us questions because we love them very
We
much,
do.
and it's the only reason that we still have a show.
Mm.
So before we wrap up, do you have any special thanks?
Yes, I do. I always forget about this part of the show,
Yes.
but I have been thinking about thanking things for a while, so I have one prepared. I'd like to thank Clean Glassware. It's just a very soothing thing for me to see, like, glass objects specifically clean because they're so see-through when they're clean and just transparent that, like, it's just like, is it there? Is it not there? I don't know, but it's definitely there and it's beautiful. And this specifically refers to these test tubes I have to wash. I had about 200 of them
Ooh.
that I had to clean, and they were filled with, bird poop, because that's what I'm working with.
Nice.
So they were gross when I started with them, and then they were clean and beautiful when I finished them, and they were just racks on racks on racks of these clean, pristine test tubes that I could just see through. That was just really doing it for me that day.
Yeah,
I'm
and listen,
just really thankful.
Small blessings, okay?
Yeah.
We take what we can get. That's good. I guess in the theme of clean stuff, I would like to thank Tide Pods. I had this bizarre compulsion the other week where I was just like staring at a Tide Pod and I was like, I want to bite into this.
Ooh, they look good.
They look
They're
very
colorful.
biteable, and I'm
Yeah.
very distraught about the fact that we were all conditioned as children with gushers. And so now you expect me to like live my whole life thinking that gushers are delicious and great, and then I look at a Tide Pod and you're going to tell me I can't eat this? Are you kidding? How dare you? So
Oh my god.
maybe it's not a special thanks. Maybe it's just like a special call out. Like, honestly, call out to like Procter and Gamble. How dare
Oh my
you
God.
make Tide
That's
Pods
funny.
so delicious and then tell me, a grown adult man, that I can't eat this? Are you kidding?
Well, I remember freshman year we went out and smashed one by a dumpster. Yeah, that was us being crazy freshman year.
Whoa.
Yeah, we went out and smashed a few Tide Pods. And I feel like the liquid wasn't that colorful. There was also kind of like a tint to the packaging itself.
Was that true? Well, we also smashed it on brick.
We also, oh yeah, our red brick.
Yeah,
so it was a
so
little bit
hard
harder
to
see.
tell.
Okay, and it was also like nighttime.
Because that's what we did. Whatever.
Yeah.
Doing bad kid stuff.
Yeah. That's what we did on Friday nights.
Whoa, and like it's a Friday night now. That's probably what we're gonna do now.
Whoa! Smashing Tide Pods
Whoa.
in the parking lot.
Can we do that? Yeah.
I don't have any to waste anymore.
Me neither. I'm so broke. Help. But anyway, call out post for Procter and Gamble, but
Yes.
also thank you to Tide Pods.
Procter and Gamble. I recently read about them. I don't remember what the context was though, so maybe you should just cut this out because I don't know where I'm going with this.
That's okay. We'll leave it in just to give the people the info. But thank you all for listening. So
Yes.
from us to you, we bid you adieu.
Bye.
Bye, Fires friends.